Okay, jap. Okay. So Raja, you want to present your slide or you just want to just read out the answer?
Can I just read? Can I just read?
Okay, yang lain okay tak kalau Raja just read the answer?
Boleh.
Boleh ya? Okay, nak suruh cepat lah kan? Saya, okay. Raja, you just read out your answer and the rest can check whether senang je, very straight to the point, or you can just get straightly from my slide. Okay, just read the answer, Raja.
Okay, for number 1A, define the organic is a production of the crop and the livestock without using the synthetic chemical and the inorganic fertilizer.
Organic farming ya Raja, bukan organic.
Okay.
Okay, and then second one, low input farming system.
Is to the minimize of the farm input and look for the highest efficiency of the farm's resource.
Okay, so everyone agree with Raja's answer? Sama je kan if you just okay, if you don't want to use my answer scheme from my slide, you can just Google the answer and maybe you can use your own words to summarize the definition. Okay, boleh je Google mana-mana, sama je dia akan bagi, cuma kadang-kadang ayat tu je berbeza. Okay, so I have also my own marking scheme here. Okay. Okay, where is my marking scheme? Okay, this one. Okay, so this is organic farming. Okay, there's actually many points here, so you just point out a few important things. For example, tadi Raja baca production of crops and livestock without the use of synthetic chemicals. So this is the more important point, without the use of synthetic chemicals and inorganic fertilizers. So this is we want to stress here, kita tak guna bahan-bahan kimia sintetik seperti pesticide, genetically modified organism, fertilizer, growth hormone and also the antibiotics. Okay, so this is the organic farming, whereas the low input farming system, very straight from my slide, the effort or try to minimize of farm inputs. For example, farm input ni fertilizers and pesticide, and look for the highest efficiency of on-farm resources. Maksudnya resource yang available dekat ladang tu. For example, kita ada building ke, any equipment or machines, skills for the workers, for example, to process the manure hasil buangan dekat ladang tadi. And then the skill for the workers in handling the facilities. So this one we call it as on-farm resources. Kalau off-farm input ni, the one that we need to purchase, yang kita kena beli. Contohnya fertilizer and pesticide. So this is the two important highlight or point in the LIFS, off-farm input and on-farm resources. Okay, everybody clear about this? Clear?
Yes.
Okay, so we proceed to the second questions. Sekejap, I have to present. Okay. Second questions. Okay, second question is state and define, very straight to the point, state and define the 7 type of farming system. Ada 7 kan? Okay, siapa nak? Very straight to the points. 7. Pejam mata. Let's say you are not referring to your answer notes, maybe you can just state by memorizing. Okay, ada? Any volunteer? Or should I call out the name from the attendee here today? Ada? Any volunteer to answer? Very straight to the point.
Saya nak.
Siapa tu? Oh, Nur Hamizah. Okay, Nur Hamizah. Okay, 7. Apa dia?
Yang pertama arable, growing and harvesting a crop. Yang kedua pastoral, specialist in rearing animal. Yang ketiga mix, iaitu both crop, arable and animal. Yang keempat subsistence, grow just for the farmer and his family. Yang seterusnya commercial, grow to sell. Seterusnya intensive, high input of labor or usual relatively small capital, and the last one is extensive, low input of labor or capital.
Okay, so everybody clear about that. So maksudnya tadi Hamizah mention type of farming and also the characteristic of each of the farming. Very easy kan, straight to the point, betul tak? Cuma sometimes I think you might be confused between, stop present, I show you. Okay. Okay, this one I already summarized here the answer. Can you see? Arable, for example, growing and harvesting crop and so on lah. So maybe you get a little bit confused which part, which type of farming. You feel that it is quite confusing for you? Yang mana yang agak confused sikit? Based on this definition and also the characteristic ataupun ciri-ciri this farming, ada tak yang macam kamu rasa confused sikit? Arable, pastoral, mixed, subsistence, commercial, intensive and extensive. Ni intensive and extensive boleh differentiate tak between these two type of farmings? Agak-agak confused tak? Boleh?
Tolong explain sikit boleh?
Okay, intensive ni very simple, high input of labor or usually small capital. Maksudnya dia guna penggunaan labor ni apa tenaga kerja kan yang tinggi dan tapi hasil dia sikit je. Tapi kalau extensive, low input of labor or capital, dua-dua. Dia guna tenaga kerja yang sikit untuk extensive ni. Dan capital tu maksudnya modal. So modal dia rendah. Mungkin extensive ni dia secara extensively, secara meluas dia guna mesin yang besar ke. So dia guna tenaga kerja yang sedikit sahaja sebab dia banyak bergantung kepada mesin. Kalau intensif ni dia buat secara intensif. So dia guna tenaga kerja yang banyak untuk bagi cepat dia punya penanaman dekat ladang tu tersebut. Tapi biasanya capital dia kecil sebabnya orang ramai, mungkin dia guna mesin yang macam nak pam racun kan. So orang ramai, tapi kalau kamu guna pam racun yang macam ekstensif tu yang mesin yang besar, yang spray besar tu kan, yang cover kawasan yang luas. So capital ataupun alat yang diguna tu sikit dan tenaga kerja pun sikit. Tapi kalau intensif ni macam secara dekat macam nak sembuh racun padi. So dia cuma guna orang dan juga mesin pam racun serangga yang dia pakai atas belakang tu. So kena pakai ramai lah. Dan banyaklah capital dia, maksudnya pam racun serangga tadi untuk ladang padi tadi. Faham tak? Tu intensif dengan extensive. Extensive ni more like dia guna macam high end machine or yang giant machine tu. So the usage of the labor is sikit lah, low input ya, sikit saja penggunaan tenaga kerja dia. Okay, is it clear?
Clear.
Maybe you can refer to my lecture note. I think I already put some slide to, or not slide, some figure to differentiate between these two. So figure during the intensive and also I put some figure for the extensive ya. Okay, now let's proceed. I'll just show you the, ni lah, my answer scheme. Okay, number 3. State the 5 component of livelihood asset. Ada 5. You still remember?
Saya.
Okay, dah nampak ke jawapan saya tadi? Apa dia? 5 livelihood.
Human capital, natural capital, financial capital, physical capital and social capital.
Okay, so you have to rememberize ya. Yang ni lah, remember ada 5 ni saja komponen untuk Okay, komponen untuk livelihood asset. We have human, natural, financial, physical and social capitals. Okay, very straight to the point. Okay, next question is briefly discuss the 3 component of food security according to WHO, World Health Organization. Sebabnya some some other parties already stated maybe different opinion have a different component, berbeza pendapat, tapi kita according to WHO. So you can just refer my slide. There are 3 component of food security. Please remember this one. It's very famous question or famous part of the information in the food security. Okay, apa dia? What is it? Anyone? Food security component.
Saya.
Saya tu siapa? Okey, Muhammad apa ni? Tak nampak habis nama.
Muhammad.
Oh, Muhammad Aikal. Okey, Muhammad Aikal. Kenapa suara macam tidak bermaya je? Tadi bersahur ketak ni Haikal?
Oh.
Sahur. Ya. Macam baru bangun tidur je suara ni. Tengok muka sikit. Buka. Tengok.
Tak boleh.
Tak boleh. Kenapa? Rambut berserabai ke apa Haikal?
Rambut pun tak ada. Okay.
Okey, apa dia Haikal? Apa jawab?
Food access, food availability and food utilization.
Okey. Ke Haikal tengah baca jawapan sambil baring ni? Bunyi macam tengah baring je. Okay, good ya. Senang saja. Food availability, food access, food utilization. Okay, so this is the three component of the food security. Availability, in bahasa we call it availability. What is when you translate in BM? Availability lah. Keberadaan how you say in BM availability? Ada lah, benda tu ada. Can be accessed anytime, anywhere, anybody. So that is in a simple word. Oh, access tu dah ada, food access. Availability maksudnya makanan tu ada. Food access ada, maksudnya semua orang boleh dapat. And then utilization tu penggunaan dia. Okay, that is the three component of the food security. Okay, this is from my lecture 10. Okay, lecture 11. Define. Okay, yang ni pun sometimes define is famous juga. Kadang-kadang dia saja twist. Kadang sustainable food production, sustainable agriculture. Nak tengok kamu confused ke tak dengan this kind of terms. Okay, so the first one is sustainable food production. Okay, anyone? Ada yang nak join? Okay. Sustainable food production. Juni ada, Juni L. Oh, sedapnya nama. Dia tukar mana dia? Nama Juni tak? Juni Elfia Shari. Am I pronounce your name right? Elfia Shari. Sedapnya nama. Juni ada Juni, could you please try to answer the question?
Sustainable food production is a method of production using process and system that are non-polluting, conserve non-renewable energy and natural resources, economical efficient, safe for workers, communities and consumers, and not to compromise the needs of future generations.
Okay, Juni, kalau saya minta you elaborate in a simple word dalam bahasa so that your friends maybe can understand better. Boleh tak? In a simple word. Kamu faham tak apa yang kamu baca tadi?
Faham. Method of production using process system lah.
Okay.
Kan?
Using apa?
Process system.
Process system?
Processes and system. Maksudnya makanan yang kita proses. Kan?
Lagi? Without compromising tu ada kan at the end yang at the back tu. The future generation needs ke? In details. Make sure you understand what you are reading ya. Sebabnya kalau kamu hafal saja, it doesn't help you to answer the question. Kamu kena hafal and then kamu faham apa definition tu. Oh, pasal ni actually main point dia. Apa main point kat situ, and then you just kumpul all together the main point and build a sentence. Maksudnya main point dia macam ni. Kamu tengok ya, sustainable food production, pengeluaran makanan yang sustainable. Sustainable ni I think in BM is we call it as MAPAN kan. Okay. Sekejap saya nak bersul ni. So sangat. Nampak tak saya punya ni? Skema ni? Oh, dekat sangat ni. Method of production using processes and system. Betul lah proses dan sistem, tapi kamu lupa nak mention Juni, non-polluting, yang tidak mencermakan alam sekitar, conserve, conserve ni apa ya bahasa Melayu, sorry. I'm quite bad in conserve tu maksudnya memelihara non-renewable energy and natural resources. Lepas tu economically efficient, ya, secara ekonominya dia sangat berkesan, menjimatkan, safe for workers, selamat kepada pekerja, komuniti, masyarakat setempat dan juga pengguna. And at the same time, it does not compromise the need of future generation. Dia tidak mengorbankan keperluan ataupun kepentingan untuk generasi masa akan datang. Maksudnya memusnahkan flora dan fauna yang mana pada generasi akan datang tak nak tengok dah spesies-spesies yang terancam ke, yang extinct ke. So that kind of things lah, sustainable food production, pengeluaran makanan yang mapan. Okay, so you have to remember lah processes and system that are non-polluting, conserve non-renewable energy, economically efficient, safe. Safe tu for ni lah workers, community, consumer and do not compromise the need of future generation. Okay, Ken? Okay, next question. Nampak? Semua sustainable. What is the differences between sustainable food production and agriculture? Sekarang kita tengok. What is the sustainable agriculture? Anyone? Semua sustainable kan? Semua mapan. Food production, agriculture, farming system. Okay, next for the sustainable agriculture. Mana nak tengok ni, kalau tak panggil nama ni lambat ya. Maybe we can try Gayatri ada, Gayatri Vijayan. Sedap juga nama. Gayatri?
Sustainable agriculture has been defined as integrated system of plant and animal production that can last for a long time, that satisfy human food needs and natural resources.
Okay, 2 marks if you answer like that in final exam. Of course, 2 mark you will get the full mark for the definition part. Okay, so senang saja. Sustainable agriculture, integrated system of plant and animal production. Okay, macam tadi saya baca, that will last over the long time in order to satisfy human food need and enhance natural resources. Ya, dia boleh, orang kata, selain daripada memenuhi keperluan manusia dalam tempoh masa yang lama, dia juga orang kata enhance natural resources. Dia tidak cause the pollution to the environment, ya. Dia akan preserve the natural resources dan meningkatkan lagi natural resources kita, macam sumber kayu-kayan ke semua kita akan kata tanam, macam projek tanam semula, hutan ke apa ke. So that kind of things from the sustainable agriculture. This is specifically, ya, khususnya kepada integrated system of plant and animal production untuk pengeluaran makanan berasaskan inilah tumbuh-tumbuhan dan juga haiwan, ya. Agriculture ni pengeluaran makanan yang berasaskan tumbuhan dan haiwan. So husbandry semua tu is included under the agriculture. Okay, next question. Sustainable farming. Nampak? Semua sustainable. Sustainable farming. Anyone? Ikan Natasha. Okay, siapa tu? Rahim?
Azrin.
Azrin, yes, Azrin, good. Apa dia Azrin?
Is farming ecologically by promoting methods and practice that are economically available in development around and public.
Tak apalah. Okay, so this is I think this is straightly from my slide. Farming ecologically, ya. Farming ecologically mesti mempertimbangkan keseimbangan ekologi our environment, ya, by promoting method and practices that are economically viable. Maksudnya dia boleh secara ekonominya tidak impacted the environment, environmental sound and protect the public health, ya. Dia boleh kata protect the public health tu. Maksudnya selain pada protect environment, so kesihatan secara general kita punya masyarakat pun turut dilindungi. Maksudnya sustainable farming is safe lah, safe enough. The product is safe enough to be eaten or to be consumed. Okay, next question. Sustainable fishing. I put all the sustainable word here but for different purposes or method. Sustainable fishing apa pula? Should I just call out the name? Nama semua sedap. Okay, siapa tu? Who's talking? Siapa? Dia mau nak join, okay. Siapa yang nak ni? Nak jawab? Ya. Ika Natasha ni, ya Allah ni macam nama artis ni. Ika Natasha ada?
Ada.
Okey, clear suara. Okey, Ika cuba jawab ni, senang je ni.
Living enough fish in ocean, respecting habitats and ensuring people who depend on fishing can maintain their livelihood.
Very simple kan? Living enough fish in ocean. Janganlah macam macam apa bila korang ni dah jadi orang kata nelayan yang berjaya, banyak orang kata ada macam yang canggih-canggih semua tu kan. Pergi kau habis, pergi orang kata fishing habis kat situ. Tak boleh lah kan. Kita kena living enough fish in the ocean. Kalau kecil-kecil tu kita buang balik lah bagi dia besar, bagi orang lain merasa sama. Ni kecil besar semua kamu main ambil je ya. Kalau kamu rajin tengok dokumentari, kalau dekat mana YouTube ke mana ke, dia akan ambil yang macam yang besar-besar saja tau. Yang kecil dia akan buang balik ke dalam laut, tapi masih hidup lah, bukan yang mati. So that is we call it as living enough fish in the ocean, respecting habitats ya, bukan main harung je semua, and ensuring people who depend on fishing can maintain their livelihood. Maksudnya untuk nelayan-nelayan kecil yang tak ada teknologi macam apa, untuk apa teknologi laut dalam tu macam kapal besar, alat yang canggih, equipped with the machine untuk detect ikan semua tu. So dia fikir juga untuk nelayan-nelayan yang secara tradisional ke apa ke, so dia tinggal juga sikit ya. So dia tak ambil semua. So this is for the sustainable fishing. Okay, next question is, what are the 3 major component of sustainable food production? Komponen untuk sustainable food production. Ni kena hafal jugalah ya. Apa dia? Behui ada? Behui?
Ada.
Okay, could you please try what is the 3 component?
Government, business and citizen. Government, business and citizen.
Okay, so government, citizen and business. So this is for the sustainable food component, food production ya. Component tu maksudnya stakeholders yang terlibat untuk sustainable food production. We have the government part, the citizen, masyarakat juga, and juga business. Maksudnya perniagaan itu sendiri. So this is the 3 major component, and how this major component interrelated with each other, you can just read my lecture note macam mana dia saling mempengaruhi antara satu sama lain, peranan government, citizen and the business of the food production itself. You can just refer my lecture note. Okay, number 7. What are the key elements of sustainable agriculture? Key element in sustainable agriculture. Amin Najmi ada?
Ada.
Ya, okay. Apa dia key element dia?
Elemen dia yang first, forest conservation and agroforestry.
Okay.
Nombor 2, better income for farmers. Nombor 3, better wages and working conditions. Nombor 4, maximizing soil health and carbon storage. Nombor 5, water conservation. Nombor 6, integrated meat. Nombor 7, pest management and gender equality.
Okay, so there are 7 ya. Saya silap numbering lah here ni. 5. So ini very straight from my lecture slides too. So the explanation is there, so you can just read. Yang penting kamu hafal dulu 7 key element ni. Ada 7 ya. As apa tadi cakap? Siapa tadi yang bagi? Saya lupa. Admit. Okay, Amin cakap tadi. Okay, so ni 7 elements dia. Nampak kan? Kamu nampak tak saya punya skema kat sini? Nampak tak?
Nampak.
Okay, so ini semua ada dalam lecture slide, very straight, and then the discussion is also there. So this is the key element, and how to understand each of these element I think already put in the discussion in the lecture slide. So first, forest conservation and agroforestry. Ya, kita conserve forest tu. Better income for farmers, so it can promise a better income, pendapatan yang lebih bagus untuk peladang ni through the sustainable agriculture, better wages and working condition. Ini wages ni gaji untuk pekerja harian contohnya, dan keadaan persekitaran kerja yang lebih kondusif lah atau selamat ya, working condition. And then it can mean maximizing soil health and carbon storage. So sustainable agriculture ni juga boleh meningkatkan kesihatan ataupun kesuburan tanah tu juga, dan juga storage carbon. Okay. Water conservation, kita boleh conserve penggunaan air tu. Integrated weed and pest management. Okay. And then gender equality. You can just read my lecture slide for this key element ya. Sebab gender equality ni refers macam setengah setengah negara tu dia tidak iktiraf kata pekerja perempuan kan, macam dekat Afrika ke semua ke, dia tidak mengiktiraf sangat pekerja perempuan ni. So ada masalah dari segi gender kat situ. Okay. Okay, so this next question is from lecture 11. 12, lecture 12. Okay, briefly discuss the gap in food security policy making. Ini saya sajalah letak discuss secara ringkas. The gaps tu apa? Jurang di antara food security policy making. Macam mana policy making kepada food security ni terdapat jurang-jurang, ataupun we call it as macam jurang tu maksud apa in lebih detail lagi, lohong ke apa, something yang macam missing, something missing in food security policy making, maybe the weaknesses itself. Okay, anyone? You just point out the point first. Okay, bagi tahu point dulu. Ni siapa FHMB ni? F19B0239.
Saya Farah.
Okay. So you just use the orang kata nama ringkas ya. Apa nama tadi?
Farah.
Oh, Farah. Okay, Farah nak try jawab tak?
Boleh.
Okay, so please briefly discuss maybe, or stated the point first, the gaps.
Point pertama, multi-sectoral approach.
Ada jawab tak multi-sectoral approach tu macam mana? Dia discuss tak sikit? Saya pun letak juga kat sini, tapi untuk discuss tu you refer my slide ya. I already put the discussion in my slide. So this is the answer. Next, apa dia? Second,
integration of ecosystem factors.
Okay, next.
Participatory decision making.
Okay, next.
Commitment to climate change action.
Okay, next.
Recognition of wild resources.
Okay, ada lagi? Tak ada dah?
Tak ada.
Okay, so for the discussion part, you can refer my lecture note ya. Ini adalah dia punya gaps ya, multi-sectoral approach, pendekatan yang pelbagai dari segi sektor ni, ada beberapa juga. So adalah gaps kat situ. Integration of ecosystem factors, ada juga kelemahan dari segi ekosistem ya untuk food security ni. Lepas tu participatory decision making, penglibatan dalam membuat keputusan ni oleh pihak-pihak tertentu juga, mungkin berbeza pendapat dan juga idea, so boleh juga menjadi gaps in food security. And then commitment to climate change action, maksudnya komitmen kepada perubahan cuaca. Ini juga mempengaruhi dalam food security policy making, and also the recognition of wild resources. Okay, so this is the kata point in the gaps in food security policy making. Okay, so you can just refer my slide for the detailed discussion of each of these point. Okay, boleh? Very straight from my slide. Okay, next, is it the last question here? Okay. Okay, number 9, state the characteristic of effective food security policies. Okay, what is the characteristic that can be characterize the policy for the food security that considered as effective? Policy food security effective ni macam mana ciri-ciri dia yang kita boleh katakan effective for the food security tu? What is the characteristic? Okay, very straightly from the lecture note. Okay, kita tengok siapa ya. Tengok. Wan Afzan ada Wan Afzan? Tak ada? Wan Afzan Nuha. Tak ada ke ni? Ke tak dengar? Tu saya kata bila kamu buka. Oh, okay. Kenapa tak boleh cakap Wan Afzan? Tak ada ni ke? Tak ada mic ke apa? Can you turn on the ni? Voice? Mic problem. Okay, tak apa. Selamat. Kita cuba. Kelas ni ramai perempuan je. Mana yang lelaki ya? Muaz ada Muaz. 2 sampai Muaz sini. Okay, Muaz ada? Muaz pun mic problem juga? Okay. Okay, Muaz. Tengok muka sikit.
Ish.
Kenapa ish pula? Aduh. Next time saya patut besok semua wajib turn on camera. Baru saya kira attendant. Boleh? So next time make up lah smart-smart. Pakai smart-smart ke apa ke. Boleh. Besok semua wajib turn on camera. Kalau macam ni saya pun nak turn off jugalah kamera. Biar suara je dengar kan. Saya tengok cuma Fatin, Fazliana je yang on camera. Thanks Kalau tidak saya rasa macam bercakap dengan skrin kosong je. Okay, Muaz tak boleh on camera. Dah lah tak jumpa kat luar dah.
Next class. Next class.
Next class, tomorrow. Okay, tak apalah. Muaz janji nak on camera tomorrow. Okay, apa dia? Cuba jawab.
Yang pertama dia agricultural system as ecosystem.
Okay.
Kedua, the value ecosystems as productive assets.
Okay.
3, support in the increasing investment in off-farm environmental assets. Dan keempat, strengthen the local organisation and enhance the voice of rural communities. Kemudian, the service by ecosystem has no limitation dan provide link across sectors.
Okay, very straight from my slide. Betul tak, Muaz? Semua adalah slide saya kan? Okay, so this is ni lah. Inilah soalan dia kan? Wow, very fast. Okay, so this is the 6. Ada 6 ya, characteristic of effective food security policies. Ada 6 ya. See agricultural system as agro-ecosystem. Apa tu agro-ecosystem? You have to know that definition. Kalau tak tahu Google lah. Sometimes I didn't put in my slide because this is a very kata general knowledge for you. You should know agro-ecosystem. So dia melihat agricultural system sebagai satu agro-ecosystem. Okay, the second one, value ecosystem as productive asset. Dia menghargai ekosistem ni sebagai satu asset ataupun satu yang sangat produktif lah. Yang boleh contribute to the food security. Okay, support increase investment in off-farm environmental asset. Dia boleh menyokong investment tu apa ya? Melayu. Menyokong pelaburan di dalam ni lah off-farm environmental asset. Aset-aset yang selain daripada yang dia dekat ladang tu. Okay, you can Google. I think I already put in my slide what is the off-farm environmental assets. And then strengthen local organisation. Ya, dia memperteguhkan lagi organisasi lokal ni and also enhance the voice of rural communities. Dia akan mendengar pendapat ataupun suara daripada masyarakat luar bandar tadi terhadap apa masalah yang wujud di dalam inilah food security, isu-isu pertanian semua ni. So dia akan mendengar juga. Okay, dan the services provided by ecosystem are not limitless, ya. Of course lah, we know ecosystem can provide the limitless services. Macam apa contoh ecosystem bagi services kepada ni kita punya agriculture ke, food security ke, macam water cycle kan, water cycle, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, semua tu kita dapat daripada ekosistem, daripada persekitaran semula jadi kita. So it is limitless kalau kita boleh exploited dia in a correct manner, dengan cara yang betul. And then link across the sectors, adalah hubungan di antara pelbagai sektor dalam inilah effective food security policies. So this is 6 characteristics. Okay, actually what we are discussing today akan keluar juga dalam kamu punya mid semester test next week. So benda-benda yang kita discuss ni secara tak langsung akan membantu kamu untuk menjawab soalan mid semester test next week. Okay, untuk mid semester test soalan senang saja. Macam hari tu ada quiz kan? So lebih kurang macam soalan quiz je. Soalan saya tak nak buat essay lah sebabnya computerized kan. Kalau essay nanti satu kerja pula lah nak kena download, nak kena semak one by one. So I just put like a multiple choice question and true false question. So everything is based on my lecture notes. So 20 questions, 20 soalan, you have to answer within berapa minit saya cakap 10 minit ke? Kejam 10 minit, 20 minit lah. Kan, so satu soalan tu 1 minit. Banyak masa tu. Kalau matematik saya rasa tu soalan 1 minit. Kalau jenis baca-baca macam ni sepatutnya 2 soalan kot 1 minit. Kan? Ke rasa macam mana? Satu soalan 1 minit tu okey ke rasa lama sangat? Okey, sempat untuk kamu Google dan buka lecture note. Cuma saya kata shuffle lah soalan tu. Saya tak cakap ni lecture note mana. So it required your kata creativity. Your macam kalau kamu baca kamu tahu okay this is from this lecture note. So you can easily refer ya. Ni lecture note kalau sempat lah. Kalau tak sempat tu baca mengikut kefahaman, jawab mengikut kefahaman kamu lah. Okay, any questions? Kita dah habis dah di tutorial ni. Ada apa-apa soalan lagi nak tanya? Pasal assignment ke, pasal apa-apa sajalah. Esok last class ya. Esok mesti semua turn on the camera. Mungkin kawan-kawan kamu pun ada yang rindu nak tengok muka. Kamu dah jumpa ke sekelas ni? Dah pernah pergi sekelas, pergi lecture ke masa first year dulu?
Pernah.
Pernah? So dah kenal lah ya masing-masing. Mana tahu tiba-tiba je tak pernah, apa semua online je. Saya pun tak tahu bila kita akan boleh orang kata face to face, kelas orang kata physical seperti biasa. Kejap, by that time I will stop the recording here. Okay, nanti saya